lot of the schools aren't rebuilt. A lot of libraries, stuff like that. Kids are behind in reading development, learning development. So I felt that would be the best place where I could help out.
Well, look at you. That's very nice. Let's talk about you're a student at USC right now. Did you start off at USC or?
No, actually, I went to Green Valley High School out here in Las Vegas.
Gators!
After that, I went to CSN for a summer semester, and from there I went to UNLV for 1 year on the Millennium Scholarship, and then after that year at UNLV, I transferred to USC.
Okay, let's talk about some of the differences then. When you say you went to UNLV then USC, I mean, we can point out the obvious that one is in Las Vegas and one is in Los Angeles, but let's talk about the differences in your classes, maybe your professors, and just going there.
Well, there was definitely a difference in, I want to say, the level of work. UNLV was definitely a little bit easier. USC's more challenging, more competitive. So.
Okay, so when you say more competitive, let's talk about some of your classes then. You're majoring in English, so let's talk about your writing classes.
Well, just the classes in general. The classes are smaller at USC. It's a private school. It's more it's definitely more difficult to get into. There's a lot of students from a lot of different places and a lot of
so international,
right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
And do you and have you taken any classes outside of your English major that you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, I didn't declare my major until my junior year, so I did a lot of dabbling in a lot of different subjects before I declared my major. But I also spent a semester in Madrid. I studied abroad because my minor is Spanish, so I spent a semester in Spain.
Cool. And did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was a great experience.
Cool. So, being there for a semester, I understand you took classes there then, and
right.
Let's talk about your living situation then.
I stayed with a Spanish family, a mother and a daughter, just regular old family in Spain.
And you had classes?
Yeah, I had to commute to school. I took the subway. It was cool.
Cool. So wow, that's amazing. That's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not even on this same continent. So, how was it between balancing school? I know you had classes to go to, but just being in Europe and, being in a whole different living situation and everything, how did you?
Yeah, it was definitely a completely different vibe. Just interacting with people from, like you said, a completely different continent. It was really fun. It was definitely interesting to see how different people live in a different country, different continent.
Okay, so in the classes that you were taking, was it all kids from USC or?
Yeah, there was a group of 30 of us through the program that went that semester, and it was all Spanish classes, obviously. It was more like a high school feel, more situation, because it was the same 30 of us would have different classes together, and we saw each other every day. We were the only people in the entire country that spoke English, or were really from America that knew each other, so we really hung out with each other a lot.
Cool. So let's talk about some activities you did there then. I remember having a conversation with you about something you did in particular. I can't remember the name of it, where they had floats or something like that. They were burning.
Yeah. Well, since everything's so close in Europe, a lot of weekends, a lot of students would travel from place to place, go to maybe London or Paris, England, Germany, different places in Europe. I mostly stayed in Spain during my time there, exploring just that country. But there was an event they have every year, I believe, for St. Peter's Day, in Valencia, Spain, where they'll build these giant floats and then they'll just burn them to the ground. It's crazy. It's nothing like we'll ever see in America. It's like, imagine if the 4th of July was planned by 16-year-olds, and there you have it, just
Right.
fire and
Right, and I
crazy
remember,
people, fireworks.
right, and I remember seeing the pictures too. And these floats. They weren't cheap at all. They didn't look like they took very little time. They looked like, I mean, somebody really spent a long time working on
Yeah.
those, and then you just watch them be burned.
Yeah, no, they spend all year decorating and making these things as elegant as possible, only to burn them down a year later. So
Right.
it's very interesting. I recommend anyone going because you'll have the time of your life.
Very funny. So, did they, for that, is there some kind of theme, or, I remember seeing, it looked almost like they were cartoon characters that we've just never heard of or something.
I mean, I'm sure there are themes, but I mean it's whatever you want to do. Like say, one might be more of like Disney characters, or one might be like sports athletes or something. It's whatever you want to do, and then I think there's competitions, like certain floats will be judged, and then
And then burn them.
yeah, right.
Oh, wow. So,
Maybe the best one is burn last or something. I don't know really how it works, but
wow.
it's definitely fun to watch.
Wow, that is intense. I would love to do that. So maybe I should go. So what else? What else you want to share with us about your experience in Spain?
Being away from home.
Just it was just a fun experience. Just being able to be somewhere else for so long. Interact with new people, different people.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break.